Okay, so just want to let everybody know the electrons are hooking up and we're going to be live here in just a moment. And I'll know once that is completed. All right, I believe we're live now. So yes, awesome. Hey, greetings, welcome everybody. This is Ann Sieg. I always start just a couple minutes early so everybody knows to give people time to roll in, and always to make sure that all my software is hooking up. So hope you guys are having a really awesome day. Those of you who are members of the e-commerce business school, there's quite a lot of you who are going to be showing up in Minnesota this weekend. I fly out super early tomorrow morning at 6 and I land at 8:10 a.m. I'll be working with Lisa tomorrow, bringing in all our supplies and everything. So yeah, we've got a big group of people coming to Bloomington, Minnesota for our event. So really, really excited to see you guys. And also with today's call, it is actually a first ever. And I'll explain more in just a moment. Again, just allowing people to roll in. I always start officially at 12. So just, hey, good. Okay, I see people are letting me know. Lonnie is on the page. Good, awesome. Okay, good. It is 12 o'clock. I'm Mrs. Punctuality, so I want to get going here. So greetings, welcome everybody. This is Ann Sieg, and welcome to the Voice of E-Commerce, which is the broadcasting arm of the e-commerce business school. And our goal is to display to the public that we are real people who have a go-giving community that supports and empowers each other. So I'm thrilled to have you here. So let's take your business to the next level with this edition of the Voice of E-Commerce. Now, before I introduce our very special guest today, just want to let you know you can write in add me in the comments section below if you'd like to be notified of future broadcasts. All you do is write in add me and you'll be notified. So this is a first ever. We have a new course, the e-commerce enterprise print on demand platform. It's actually very high level mentorship that we do. And our goal is to launch people within 45 days to have their new print on demand store. And that is exactly what has happened for Candida Lillard's. Am I saying it right?
It's Lillard, yes.
Lillard, thank you. So, and we did that. And that was done very much because Candida was a really big go-getter in terms of working together with my team, with Cody, and completing the assignments very quickly before their next appointment, as this is a done for and with you program through e-commerce enterprise. And so this is really exciting. This is actually a launch celebration of Candida's new store. And she's got something very, very unique. And that's what I love about what we're doing is people are able to actualize out of their passions when we know that there's actual market data that would substantiate them moving in that direction, which indeed was the case as Candida and her coach researched her particular niche. So welcome, Candida.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So we're going to get a little bit of an overview about you first before we dive into you explaining about your brand new store. We are going to actually, I'm going to share on my screen Candida's new store, what it looks like. And she even has a discount that she's going to give to those who would like to purchase from her website, which I have one of her products. It's this little travel tote bag kind of a thing for putting little articles in, and it's the Armchair Detective. So that's just a little bit of a hint of what's coming here. So Candida, why don't you share a little bit about your background and then what brought you into the e-commerce business school?
Okay, I have been an HR manager for 12 years. I'm actually double certified in human resources. And so I did that for 12 years. And then I had our second baby about 3 years ago, and I decided to stay home. I don't know how to stay home, so we bought a skating rink.
Oh, wow.
So we did that, and then about the time I was kind of burnt out, and I just wanted my life back, because trust me, when you own a skating rink, it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Like there's no days off. The phone doesn't quit ringing. Like it's all the time. So we kind of wanted our family life back. And so I was selling the rink in February. And that's when my dad came across your Shop Your Way to Wealth video.
Okay.
And I've been an avid extreme couponer for quite a few years now. We actually bought the house I live in now because it has a massive stockpile room. And so my dad was like, hey, so I did it. I, bought the course, and I was like, hey, like, I can do this. It's not, this is what I do anyways when I'm out looking for deals and stuff. But instead of stockpiling my room, I'm turning it into cash on Amazon. And so I had my first sale in March 1st. My items went live, and I had my first sale, and I was like, oh, this works. Like, I was so excited. I surpassed my goal that month. And I went to Minnesota, and I met everybody, and you guys have talked about POD, and I was like, okay, let's get another stream of revenue coming in. And so I jumped on board, and I whipped that store right out. I hurried and hustled and spent weeks and hours doing it, but I've got a store now, so.
Awesome. So POD, folks, that means print on demand, okay? And that makes it such that you can have some really unique products. So you came through Shop Your Way to Wealth. You have a good dad there that's researching and looking on behalf of his daughter. That's kind of a fun, cool story there. And a lot of our members know who you are. You've done very, very well with Shop Your Way to Wealth. You know how to go in there and get the job done, and you're getting results very quickly. I noticed you. I'm like, oh, there's one of our go-getters just going in, and it really just comes down to very simply doing the work, right? With Shop Your Way to Wealth. You do the work, you'll make money. It's just that simple. So
it's work.
Yeah, and it's work. And I always tell people, this is not a sling in the hammock, do nothing kind of business model. You do have to go out and scan for the products, and you do have to ship them in. And we call it feeding the beast, and you can't feed that beast fast enough, being Amazon.com. All right, so print on demand. I'm a little bit curious, what else intrigued you about that model? I heard what you say there about another stream of income. Was there anything else that intrigued you about that business model?
I like the business model because other than paying for my designer, I'm not necessarily out any money. I spend my money on the designs and my designer. But other than that, I mean, unless, I'm paying my Shopify store, but it's not a lot of expense. So as far as startup and it's just able to do.
Right.
And on demand, I can work my hours when I need to. I have 2 children and a husband, and so sometimes they require a lot of my time. And so I have a 3-year-old who requires a lot of my time. And so I'm able to kind of do the work that I need to do when I can, or things like that. So I'm able to tailor it to my schedule.
Okay, which is somewhat different than retail arbitrage and folks, I don't want to use these terms without properly explaining, but retail arbitrage, arbitrage just means buying low and selling high. And retail is when you utilize your local stores to buy products that you gain data through your phone to determine, yes, there's profitability. I'll buy this, I'll send it to Amazon. So it's basically product flipping for a profit. So there you have to go during the store hours, right? And stick with that. Whereas your new print on demand business is more under your control. It can be the hours that work for you, is what you're saying. Is that correct?
Yes. Or I can even go on my laptop, and the kids can be outside, playing on the trampoline or riding their bikes, and I can be outside building designs with them.
Oh.
So I'm still with them, but I'm still being able to get work done as well.
So a tremendous amount of flexibility. So what I'm hearing is at the store, maybe it's not as quite conducive or friendly to bring the kids along every time you're at the store, right?
I go to my husband works shift work. He works 12-hour shifts, really 16 hours. But I try to go shopping when my husband's home, because I'm not taking a 3-year-old to the store with me. It's
right.
Just work. And so I do my scanning days when he's home. But I can do my Shopify print on demand store anytime.
Right.
That just helps with my time.
Right. Okay. So a lot of flexibility there. Another big distinction is you invest into the inventory with your cash through Shop Your Way to Wealth. And we know that it flips and you make a profit. And you're saying with print on demand, you don't invest in those products in advance. The model is when they buy from you, that the person makes their purchase, and then you use that money to go and pay your wholesaler, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And let's talk about that piece. That is fully automated, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So there's no, oh, here's an order. Oh, now I better send that off to the wholesaler. It's all done automatically on your behalf. And the product arrives as though it came directly from your store.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's pretty cool. All right, let's talk about, in order to really put your heart and soul into a business, which you clearly have with your new store, is the passion, if you will. And I have my view about the whole passion space and people following that is, yeah, as long as there's a market demand for it, is my very strong qualifier on that. You don't chase something that has no proof of concept that people are going to buy it. But can you share with people, you do have a passion, and you did talk to your coach, Cody, to go, well, here's what I'm thinking. Can you relay that story of how that transpired? I heard in part it happened at the event, actually, a conversation, but maybe walk through that, and then what it is meant for you to more fully actualize something that you really are passionate about.
Okay, so I've always been into true crime. And I know it sounds crazy when you say it out loud, but I've always watched like 48 Hours and Dateline and the murder mysteries. And when I was 16, I had a job, and one of the perks was we got free books each week. You just had to tear off the cover. I read all the serial killer books. Like, my dad was growing concerned about me. And I wanted to go into criminal psychology. And again, my dad, was like, Candy, I don't think I want you working with these type of people. Like, it's a road. I just don't want you going down. And so I kind of pulled back from it. And I did paralegal work for many years. And so trying to feed that desire. And so when I was at your event, we were talking about it, and I'm not the only one that likes true crime, come to find out. But I actually left your event and hopped on a plane and went to a true crime convention. And so it all just made sense. But part of it is when we go to the true crime convention, there wasn't a lot of swag to wear. There wasn't a lot of, And so I thought, hey, maybe I could do this. And so as soon as I got back from the convention, I hurried and scheduled my meeting with Cody and said, hey, this is what I want to do. And I kind of got that look like, okay, well, look at it.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see.
And then we looked at the numbers, and he's like, you're sitting on a gold mine. Like, this is it. Like, you can do this. Like, there's no one doing it right now. There's a few, shops on Etsy. That's it. There's nowhere else to get like true crime swag, if you will. And so I went full steam ahead with it and started cranking out designs and started building my store.
Let's talk about that in terms of the sheer volume of designs and products. So I'm actually going to bring up, hang on, folks. So this is, I hope you all can see this. And I'm going to post this link. If any of my staff are watching, listening right now, do me a favor and post Candida's link to her website here. It's called the sleuthshop.com. And Candida is going to get, as a acknowledgement of her efforts and launch of her new store, we are sending a certificate of accomplishment, much like when people post something in their brick and mortar business and you see their little, yep, here I am, it's official. And the e-commerce business school will be sending that to you. So we're really excited for you to be honored in that way. All right. So here we are at the Sleuth Shop. And I know when I touched base with you 2-3 weeks ago, I have a data here of 550 different products with 9,510 different variations. That's very, very impressive. So why don't you just talk it through this beautiful brand new online store that you have?
Okay, so I have a lot of designs. I've added much to it since I sent you those stats. But I've created different shirts. We have the apparel line. We have the drinkware line. We did accessories and home decor. And so I just started building different items for people to buy.
There is a lot of choices here, such that people can very likely find something like here. This looks like, there it is. It's for a particular state. So if people want to identify with this passion they have, curious, how many people are at this convention? What kind of, physical, what does that look like when people show up?
They sold out and they had 3,000 attendees.
3,000. So this is maybe a growing kind of interest that people have?
Well, this was the second year for this convention. I've been to both, and they said next year they're looking at having to maybe do 2 because the demand has gotten so high.
Interesting. All right. So you are tapping into a growing market interest here.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, one thing we wanted to do is we take great pride in bringing owners, developing new business owners, entrepreneurs, is we're acknowledging this, but what I would really like, especially I'm going to say, from the many Shop Your Way to Wealth members, which I know you're very active in our group pages, Candida. I saw just this morning you had already answered a handful of people, and that's very special and meaningful to me, that you care about other people in the community. You're not just head down and ignoring everybody. You actually care and you answer people's questions. So a real go-giver in the community is in like kind. I especially would like to ask our fellow Shop Your Way to Wealth members, there's an awful lot of you, if you could share this interview and the link that Candida has. Honestly, for myself, I'd never even heard of this niche. I didn't even know it existed. My parents love those kind of shows. It's like if we're on the phone and one of those shows is coming on, sorry, they gotta go. And they follow them all in the series and the this and the that. So they're pretty passionate about this. And so some of you, it may not be your particular niche or interest, but maybe some of your friends on Facebook. So it would mean a lot to me if you could do that on behalf of Candida. She is our first official launch for the print on demand. And I'm going to have quite a few more interviews coming because there's more people are launching their stores. Is there anything in particular that you'd like to me to showcase on your website?
That coffee and true crime one right there. I mean, okay, there's a mug right there. It's just kind of tongue in cheek. We just had this done. It says, "I love you more than serial killers love white vans." And I had someone message me the other day, a friend, and he was like, "I did not know serial killers love white vans." And I'm like, "Do you live under a rock?" So it's just kind of cute. I mean, I don't want to, I don't have a dark store. I don't want it to be, you know, just, I don't want to go down that dark rabbit hole. So I kind of try to keep it light and fun. And so, but I think that design's cute. My sister actually made that design for me. So.
Oh, wow. So I'm curious, you came up with all these phrases and everything that's here?
Yes. I look online and I try to, you know, look for true crime t-shirts or true crime sayings. And while I can find some, there's not really a lot out there. And so we really, you know, kind of put our heads together. My sister goes to CrimeCon with me. And so she kind of helps me.
She's your partner in crime then?
Yes, she is.
Okay, well, very good. Well, we are very happy and excited for you. And I believe you have a special discount specifically for the listeners today and anyone who would come in and watch the replay to go ahead and go through the website, and you may find something. It could come in really handy as a gift too. My parents, I don't know the shows they watch specifically, the names, that I know they're way into it. They may find this just perfect for them, you know, that because that I know they enjoy these. So how do people go ahead and make a purchase and get a discount?
Okay, I used the code EBS. I thought it was fitting for our EBS members, and it's a 20% off code. So if you find something you love, go ahead and check out, and then you'll enter the coupon code EBS, and it'll take 20% off. Awesome.
So EBS, e-commerce business school, EBS, that's the acronym. And in that way, you can get a discount. Thank you and courtesy of Candida, our new store owner here, showcasing her brand new store. In closing here, we try to keep these to about 15, 20 minutes. We know people on their lunch break, etc. But here at the e-commerce business school, we have a very wide gamut of methods that people can build an e-commerce income. So Shop Your Way to Wealth, that's pretty much our foundational course. There's a lot of things in between. I'm not going to go into all of that. And if you are watching this and get curious, like, wow, what else do they do at the e-commerce business school? We've done up to 18 workshops a year. We have done sourcing trips to China. My son is a sourcing agent in China. And so we have a very wide swath of, okay, I want to get back to, I'm going to stop share so it's just the two of us. There we go. What has this meant for you to have a more encompassing business model? And then just through it's been a brief time here at E-commerce Business School and you've progressed very rapidly. What are some final closing thoughts, tips, and strategies that you would give to people? There's two different groups of people here. One are those who are current E-commerce Business School members and those who might be considering the e-commerce space. Maybe just a couple of closing thoughts. You're obviously a very ambitious woman. You don't sit still for long. So what are maybe some success tips or anything you have at all that would help folks?
One, I think mindset's very important. I can see it on the pages. Sometimes people get down and then it just kind of spirals. And so just make sure, you know, you keep your focus and it's about you. I mean, all you've got to do is, you know, do better than you did yesterday and just keep that momentum. I just want to throw that out there. Stay positive. But a big thank you to you and your group because we have check and adjust calls frequently. And so we can ask questions, but, and Cody's been amazing. I've reached out to him or I get stuck and I'm like, hey, this is where I'm at. Can you help me? And he's great. Or I can shoot him an email and he emails me back. And so the amount of support, it's not like, okay, you've done your part, you know, like we're done with you. You guys are right there to help and answer questions. And so to me, that is amazing. The check and adjust calls, you know, you can get on and you get help right then. And so I just think that that's a huge part. That goes to you and your team. I mean,
oh, thank you.
You haven't just left me here in the trenches trying to figure out what to do. And so I appreciate all of that.
That's awesome. I'm going to showcase you too in this way. You're referring to, by the way, when she talks about, when you mention check and adjust, that's for the e-commerce master's program members. There's also the weekly accountability review for which I know you are turning in your report each week. And then I do a personal review of everyone's accountability reports at the folks who are at that level. And I love that because I get to stay connected to my people and know, follow their journey and where they may be snagged up and how I can give specific help, for which I did. You're trying to connect with podcasters, I should say, in your niche. And I had a little tip about how to stand out, differentiate, and basically get their attention so that you could do business with them. And I see you've already moved forward with that little tip. We were just talking about that before the start. So that's awesome. All right. Well, I really want to thank you. And I am so, so happy and proud. My entire team and staff, this is extremely gratifying to us. We celebrate, we high five. This is the fulfillment of what we do and the hard work of really trying to set up a platform that's conducive towards success is our ultimate goal and achievement. So we're very, very proud of you. And I think you're going to be at our August e-commerce funnel mastery workshop. So and we're doing a cruise. So I'll see you in Minnesota.
Thank you.
Awesome. Everyone, please take a moment to share this after it's done. Send with your friends. We'd love to send some business to Candida. All right. Till then, see y'all next week on The Voice of E-commerce. Bye-bye.